She told me I need to contact the U.S. Embassy, 62nd birthday. There's no clause in there that says pre-existing conditions are not covered. Reached another milestone in life.
Stars fall at my feet, keep me grounded as I reach higher than I see. Is there something there for me?
Hey everyone, Verona Joe. Hope all is well. How am I doing? I'm doing great, thank you. Well, today I am using the OSMO Action 3 camera again, trying to see how these settings are. The last video I did, folks were saying it was a little dark, so I'm trying 2 settings today. I'm trying 4K 30 frames per second with the HDR mode, and I am going to switch over to just regular videoing with 4K 30 frames per second, and I'll let you know when I switch over so you guys can let me know if you see a huge difference. I'm also using the DJI Wireless mic. I have it here in my shirt. But anyway, most of you know I just recently turned 62 and reached another milestone in life where I started collecting Social Security. And in the beginning, I had some challenges, as some of you folks know, and folks have been asking for an update. So that's what I plan on doing in this video. So initially, 4 months before my 62nd birthday, I called the Social Security Administration in the US, try to file my application. And they tried to help me out the best they can. The reason I called them is I kept getting held up with one question. I didn't know why at the time. I do know now, I believe. There was a question that asked me if I was on disability, and I kept checking no, and it said I had to check yes to continue with the application process. And I'm like, but I'm not disabled, so I can't click on that. The problem was, I was under the understanding that you can file for your Social Security 4 months out before your 62nd birthday. And come to find out, that was not the case. You can file 3 months out before your 62nd birthday. And that's the reason that question was I disabled, something like that. I don't exactly remember the question. And anyway, the lady tried to help me. She didn't tell me that that was the reason I couldn't file the application online, but she tried to help me. And when trying to input my address here in Thailand, she had a difficult time doing that. She could not enter the Thai address for me. So we tried for about an hour or so, and finally she gave up and I understood. She told me I need to contact the U.S. Embassy Social Security Administration in Manila, Philippines. So that's what I did. Again, I went online to the application process there, tried to fill out the application, it wouldn't let me. So I sent an email. And because there's an option to send an email to make an appointment, and they were supposed to get back with me in, I believe it was like 5 to 10 days. I was waiting and they didn't get back to me. So I sent another email and said, hey, I'm waiting on, well, they did get back to me and tell me they received my request for an appointment, but they never got back with me with an appointment date. They told me they would, but they never got back to me. So then I resent an email and said I'm waiting on the appointment date. And then they gave me a date about 2 days later of February the 8th, I believe it was, somewhere around that time frame. And I'm like, wow, that's not too far out from my 62nd birthday. So how is that going to work? I thought that you had to file 4 months out, like I said. Come to find out, 3 months out. But anyway, so I waited for that appointment date and I got a phone call. And prior to the phone call, they send you an email and they say, have the following documentation ready to submit. So I got all my documentation ready and I received a phone call, and a lady asked me several questions, questions that only I would know the answer to. And she said, okay, you're good to go based on all of your answers. She said, we don't need any documentation. And she said, on the 3rd of May, you will receive your first Social Security benefits deposit in your bank. And I was, wow, that's pretty easy. Now I must say that because I'm retired government, I log into Login.Gov. Not everyone can do that, and that's how I do it. They send me a code on my phone, I enter the code, and then I'm logged in. Most folks have to just go through the, have to set up an account with the Social Security Administration itself. So, here comes another loud one. So basically, it was easy. For me anyway. Not everyone, it's not that easy for everyone. They require additional documentation based on work history and everything. Mine was fairly easy because I worked for the government. Well, I was in the Army for 4 years, and then I worked for the government the remainder of my life until I retired. So 38 years with the government in total with my military time. Like I said, it worked perfectly. So I got my check, I got a deposit in the bank, and actually came to the bank a few days ago. It was pending, and then it paid out today, as a matter of fact. So I'm good to go. So now we are in regular video mode. So tell me if there's a difference, and we're going to turn around here in a little while. So anyway, I'm just rambling on. Hopefully I got everything in here that I wanted to say. If you live here in Southeast Asia and it's time for you to collect Social Security, you will go through the U.S. Embassy, Manila, Philippines office. And I'll put a link to that in the pinned comment and description of this video. And I'm assuming if you live in Europe, some folks tell me they had to go through Italy to get that. So depends on where you live, if you live outside of the United States. Now, one thing a lot of folks said to me when I first posted the first video is, oh, you should wait until you are, I believe it was 65 and 67. Some folks said 65, some folks said 67. And I'll be honest with you, I did the homework. Part of my pension was a supplement to Social Security. So I did take a deduction in my pension, because at 62 you have to switch over. So folks suggested that I wait till 65, 67. I did the math on that. I did the math had I waited to 65 and 67, and there was a huge difference in how long I would wait to get a return on investment, if you will, had I not started collecting at 62. Had I waited till 67, I believe it was, when I turned 73 and a half, I would have started seeing a return on collecting that late in life. Now, the average lifespan of an American male is 77 years old. So let's see, 73 and a half, 77, that's, if I'm lucky to live that long, that's 3.5 years that I would see a return on investment. And honestly, at that age, what would I need the money for? I'm no longer going to worry about, I don't know, buying a new car, buying new toys or whatever, you know, that men like to do. I'm no longer going to be interested in any of that. I'll probably sit home on a couch. Gift will be taking care of me. Of course, I'll do morning walks and everything like that, but I'm not going to want to travel or anything like that. So I think my cost of living is going to be a lot less at that age, at 73 and a half. Now, I understand as we get older, we begin to have more health issues. And with health issues comes more expenses for medication, seeing doctors, going to the hospital and everything like that. Well, I'm pretty fortunate that I have federal Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance that I carried with me into retirement. Now, I pay my premium on that, but that doesn't change. That premium only changes if everyone else's does. In other words, it's not age-based. And also, it covers all conditions. There's no clause in there that says pre-existing conditions are not covered. So it's unlimited. It's unlimited, basically, is what it is. So I'm very fortunate with that. Actually, I'm very fortunate with my entire life that I have all of the blessings that I do. Now, it didn't come easy. When I was a kid, I started delivering newspapers, shining shoes, anything I can do to make a nickel or a dime. We were pretty poor. Then the day I turned 18, I joined the military. And even at that time, I didn't advance in life until after I got out of the military, and about 6 years later. I worked for the government, but I worked in a club system as a manager, didn't pay very well. And then I was fortunate enough to get the career in an agency in the Department of Defense that I worked for the past 30 years plus. And I started to excel in life. Okay, so now I'm going to turn around and walk the other direction. I'm still in regular video mode, so the lighting I'm sure has changed somewhat. And I'll switch over here shortly, and I'll let you know when I switch over. But anyway, I've worked all my life. I've worked hard many times between getting out of the U.S. Army and starting my career with the DoD. Many times there in between, I struggled. Had a wife and 2 sons at the time. I have 3 sons now, but I had 2 sons at the time. And I struggled to make ends meet, if you will. So there are many times I worked 2 jobs, 16 hours a day, very little sleep. And I did that because I always swore I would never be a charity case. I would never collect any type of welfare benefits or anything like that. But I believe if you can work and you got 2 hands and you're able to work and you have responsibilities to support your family, which I did, then you have to work to support your family. So I wasn't looking for any handouts, and I would not take any handouts, and I'm proud of that. My entire life, never did I take one handout, regardless of my circumstances. Okay, so I just now switched back over to the HDR mode. See how that looks. I'm sure there's going to be a difference. I hope that this video clarifies a little bit more if you're coming to age to collect Social Security, what you need to do if you live abroad, if you live Southeast Asia specifically, who you need to contact. Again, I'll put all of that contact information in the description of this video. The lighting does change depending on which direction I'm walking in. So I really have to be mindful of the lighting, because I wanted to see the difference myself and see if you guys see the difference in the quality, the resolution, whatever, the lighting. So tell me what you think. Thank you, as always, for joining us on our journey. If you're new to this channel, or if you've been watching our channel and haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. It's greatly appreciated. It motivates us to do more videos like this and everyday life videos, travel, food, rentals, land for sale, you name it. We try to video it here in Thailand. As we travel outside of Thailand, we will share that part of our journey with you as well. I also forgot to mention, let me know the quality of the DJI wireless mic I'm using as well. What you think about that? Is it too loud? Do I need to adjust it a little? And because I speak loud anyway, I'm just my New Jerseyan, if that's a word. I come from New Jersey and I tend to speak very loud. So sometimes Gift has to tell me, take it down a few notches. It's not intentional, it's just who I am. So, but anyway, it is what it is, right?
ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you so much for watching our video นะคะ Love you all นะคะรักทุกคนเลยนะ บ๊ายบายนะคะ